Hey, grade 8s, Mr. D here. Hope you're doing well. All right, so I have one of about 2 or 3 videos, short little videos on algebra. Specifically, we're going to look at solving one-step and two-step equations. But first, let's review. All right, so first off, let's look at this equation here. Yes, this is an equation. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3 terms. What separates terms? The operation signs. Okay? So, this is an equation. Why? Because the left side of the equal signs equals the right side. Right? So 7 equals 7. That's an equation. What do we have here? We have a b, an x, a w, a square, a question mark. These are all known as variables. Yep, there's that word again. Okay, so what is a variable? Well, a variable, ladies and gentlemen, is simply a symbol that we use to show an unknown number. That is what a variable is. So before we begin looking at solving some equations, it's really important that you remember the balance scale idea when it comes to algebra. Remember, in algebra, the left side equals the right side. Okay? This is balanced. In other words, 7 equals 7. Okay, negative 8 equals negative 8. Negative half equals negative a half. It doesn't matter what these numbers are, okay, but they must be the same number, left side and the right side. Pretty easy concept so far, okay? 3 equals negative 4, that's not balanced. Not at all. If this is our scale, it looks like this. Right? You have like negative 4 over here. Not good. All right, so we're going to dig deeper. So I have 1, 2, 3 equations. All right, so how do we solve these equations? Well, the first method is substitution. Okay, in other words, by using by what we know, we can just substitute the number. So we know that 3 plus 2 equals 5, right? 5 equals 5. That's balanced. I can do the same thing here. 6 plus 6 equals 12. However, we're going to have to show you the second method of showing how we calculate an answer using this type of equation. So if I want to get this answer here, the second method is isolating the variable. In other words, you need to get this variable here all by itself. How do we do that? Well, several things to keep in mind. First, you need to look at the operation sign. Okay? Secondly, you want to get this term away from this side. So how do we do it? All right. We need to think about integers. Remember in integers, I said if number 4 is a positive integer, it has an opposite integer, doesn't it? Which is negative 4. So in this situation here, we have a 6, don't we? What's the opposite number of 6? Negative 6. Okay? Plus this unknown we don't know, we'll put a question mark there. Okay? Equals 12. This is really important. Whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, you must do to the other. So if I'm basically subtracting 6 here, I subtract 6 there. So a negative 6 and a 6 gives me 0 plus question mark equals 6. Therefore, question mark equals 6. And there's your answer. So we have a last equation here. What I want you to do is to kind of solve this by yourself right now. So I'll give you a few minutes. All right, so we're back. So hopefully you solved this by yourself. Now we can use substitution, and we know that that A is going to be a 9. That's an A. Make it look like an A, Mr. D. A subtract 8 equals 1. I know that A has to be a 9. But I don't want you to use this substitution. I want you to isolate the variable. So let's get rid of this negative 8. And remember, to do that, you're going to add the opposite integer of negative 8, which is positive 8. And remember, whatever I do to one side of my equation, I need to do to the other side. So if I add positive 8, I add positive 8 here. A, negative 8, positive 8 is 0, right? A plus 0 equals 9. A plus 0 is A. A equals 9. How do I know I'm right, Mr. D? Good question. I take that 9, put it back into my equation. 9 minus 8 equals 1. This is 9 subtract 8 is 1 equals 1. Boom. Happy face. That's correct. All right, so let's sum up our video here. Okay, so remember 3 plus e equals 5. So this type of equation in algebra is known as a one-step algebraic equation. Because basically you only have one step to do. That's get rid of this 3. Okay? E is a variable. 3, e, and 5 are known as terms. Okay? And the right side equals the left side. Always. Okay? And very important to remember, because in algebra, this is what you're looking for. If the answer is 0, the left side should be 0. Okay? So that's a balanced equation. Check marks. Happy, happy. Right, so that's it for now. Our next video will be looking at not one step, but 2 step. Okay, that's it for now. Good luck and take care.